How you doing, guys? I think that you probably heard some of the comments that I made yesterday, but I think we have a lot to improve on as a team. I don't think that we're anywhere near the kind of team we're capable of being, especially from a consistency standpoint. I think that we show signs at times of being a good team, but we also, make a lot of mistakes. 4 turnovers, 9 penalties on offense. I don't care how many yards you get. We get 21 points off of turnovers. There's going to be a time where you can't overcome that. 2nd and 1 at the 1, and get a 5-yard penalty for a false start, which is a cadence issue. I mean, there's a lot of things that we need to clean up. There's a lot of things that we need to improve on. And the way you do that is individual players become more accountable to be more consistent in how they do their job. All right, so that is what allows the unit to get better. Because when one guy doesn't do his job on offense, defense, or special teams, all right, then you really don't have a successful play, whether you don't cut off the backside linebacker on a running play, whether somebody doesn't cover the right guy, whether somebody doesn't cover the right guy the right way, whether somebody doesn't run the right pass route or take the right release. All these things have a consequence. And when you do them correctly, they also have a consequence as well. So the big focus on this week for our team is to improve. I do think it gives us an opportunity to, work against some things that we don't see much, over the next today and tomorrow practice of people that will play in the future. And then we'll start to zero in, later in the week. I think you guys got the players of the week and all that stuff. And, players had 2 days off. We're practicing shells today. We're practicing pads tomorrow. From an injury standpoint, we were very, very conservative today in terms of if guys were a little bit beat up and had an issue and they could have practiced, we held them out. Especially guys that have played a lot of plays. We had some guys out there in black shirts today that, could have probably practiced and didn't do a whole lot, but we'll probably be back tomorrow. D. White will probably not practice much this week. I don't think Tyron Jones will practice, much this week. And then there'll be further evaluations made on those guys, as to what they can do day to day, next week. But Jerick Williams and Eddie Jackson both practicing now, full tilt, trying to get back into the swing of things, get back into shape, and do the things that they have to do to be able to go out there and react and play the way they can play. So this is a good week for them to be able to try to do that.
Through 4 weeks, you've dealt with some injuries on defense. Just wondering, from West Virginia through Florida, has the defense made the kind of progress that you'd like, and where does that kind of stand?
Well, I think we're getting better, but I also think that, because we've had some issues during this time, and we've had to play a lot of different players. What have we started? 4 different guys at corner. We've had, issues at safety and star. So it really has provided a lot of opportunity for other guys to play. So, like Maurice Smith having to play the whole game at star, Gino having to play the whole game at safety. I mean, now they have a lot more confidence. We have a lot more confidence, and we can build on that. So, up front, I think guys that are getting better and better, I think we're making progress. Can we play better? There's no doubt. I mean, there's a lot of things that we need to improve on, especially when it comes to things like turnovers, finishing, getting to the ball, clean up tackles. That's how you get turnovers. Next guy in gets the turnover. Well, we don't do that like we need to do it, and we need to do it better so that we can, force more fumbles and get more turnovers and be more consistent in what we're doing. So, the mental errors have gone down each week, which is a good thing. We just got to keep getting more guys to execute with consistency.
Front, Mark. I want to ask about the secondary. Tony Brown and Geno Smith, a couple of those guys filling in. What did you see from them on film, and were you pleased with their performances?
Well, they did some good things in the game, but they also did some things that they need to improve on. It's kind of like when you bring a new guy to the big leagues and nobody ever seen him pitch, nobody has a scouting report on him. Well, we have a scouting report on every player, all right, because we watch the film. It's the same film that everybody else watches, so when you don't do things correctly, the next team's going to take advantage of it. So that's why it's important to improve. That's why we give every player this week, every coach met with them and said, these are the things that you have to improve on. Some of them are eye control, discipline in what you look at. Some of them is footwork, playing the ball. We got most every guy we got playing out there has good ball judgment and good hands. And that's one of the big things about playing defensive back. And yet we got guys that go in a game and they won't play the ball. I mean, Geno did it in this last game when he was in position to make a play on the ball. So those things come with confidence, and we just got to continue to work with the guys on that. So.
One of the major tests for Saturday, Cam Robinson and his dealing with Fowler. How do you think he graded out in terms of his first real major test?
Cam did a good job in the game. Cam has played better in every game from the first game on. Did a really good job in the game. On TJ's long screen run, did a great job on the screen blocking the corner out there. He missed that block in the West Virginia game or would have had a big play. He made it in this game, and we made a big play. So he's getting better and better. And I think he's playing with more confidence and because of the knowledge and experience that he has. But he has played better every game. And he played his best game the last game.
Derrick Henry was able to run well in the game. How has he progressed so far in this season?
Derrick
Henry?
Who?
Derrick Henry. How was he able to progress from the start of the season?
Well, I think Derrick had a little setback when he got his shoulder bruised or whatever. So, he played well in the first game, and then we didn't play him a whole lot in the Southern Miss game because he's a little bit banged up. Could have played, and then I thought he played really well in this game. So, most of the time when guys practice all week and they practice well, they play well. And when guys have a hard time and struggle to practice, it usually affects how they play. And even though he was able to play in the game, he wasn't able to practice like he usually does because he's a very hard worker, which last week he was able to practice all week, so he played really well in the game.
I know we're only 4 weeks in the season, but when you hired Lane Kiffin, did you kind of give him more latitude to open things up, to make sure you get the playmakers? Is
No,
this same
not at
system,
all.
same philosophy?
I've been begging the offensive coordinators around here to open it up ever since I've been here. Jimbo Fisher was the best offensive coordinator I ever had that ever did what I wanted to do, and everybody wants to run the ball. Now, we always had a very good team to run the ball, and we had a very good defense, all right, and it was really smart to play the way we played. And now we have more skilled players that are good perimeter players, and I think we are doing what we need to do on offense to take advantage of that, all right? And, Lane does a really, really good job of taking advantage of what players can do. And I think that has benefited us, so far, this season. But there's a lot of things that we need to do better on offense. The offensive line needs to play better with more consistency. We need to be a better inside running team. You can't have 7 administrative penalties. You know what an administrative penalty is? False start, wrong formation, can't get it started right, bad cadence, all that stuff. And we will. The players have to do a better job of communicating and doing that. So, but we have made a lot of explosive plays. We haven't always been as consistent as we need to be, and that's what we really want to focus on doing. So my philosophy hasn't changed at all. Okay, I've always asked for this. Why don't we throw the ball on this look instead of running this play where we can't block everybody? which is what we do now. It's a pro philosophy. And Lane's got experience as a pro coach. That's his background. That's what he does. And he does a really good job. And I think he utilizes the players really well and presents problems for the defense by formation and adjustment. And, you know, it's worked out well. And hopefully we'll continue to improve. But in my opinion, we have not arrived as an offense. And he would be the first to tell you that. And I will tell you that too. All right, so, you know, I mean, I've already said a lot of things that we did in the last game will get you beat. You turn the ball over 4 times and have 9 penalties on offense, you're not going to win very many games. Now, we won that game, but they didn't generate any points on their own, only off of turnovers, and we made a lot of explosive plays. And we controlled the ball, especially in the second half. So there's a lot of things we need to do better.
And, as a follow-up, it would seem like on the outside looking in that you and him have kind of different personalities. So how is that chemistry, that communication, collaboration, has it progressively gotten better like it's sometimes done with players as each game goes along? Has it been pretty good all along?
Well, it's never been bad. Whoever said it was bad. I mean, so why does it need to get better? I thought something had to be bad before you needed to get better. So why does it need? Why you ask me if it has it gotten better? That assumes that it was bad. It was worse at one time. So now, you know, we're in love. We fell out of love, and now we're back in love. So I don't get it.
I just meant as you gain familiarity with each other and the way you do things.
No, we communicate well together. He's very respectful in terms of presenting the information that I need, and when I make suggestions, he always respects them. And you know, we communicate well during the game. So it's you know, it's always been good, is the way I would put it. I mean, if I did what you all thought when I hired the guy, he wouldn't even be here. All right, so maybe that was the assumption because nobody thought it was a good hire that all of a sudden it was something bad. I don't know, but I thought it was a good hire. Nobody else did. You know, I got beat up like a drum over doing it, and now all of a sudden it's great. You guys don't have any consequences for what you say or do. Our stuff ends up out there on the field on Saturday, and if it ain't done right, there's consequences. In front of a whole bunch of people. You know, however many watched the game, what was the ratings on the last game? Like 5.1, I don't know how many million is that? And, you know, the 100 million that was in the stadium, it's a different kind of scorecard than you all got to live with.
I was going to ask about when TJ, Derek, and Kenyon are all healthy going into the game, how much of their use is planned and how much is kind of a hot hand kind of thing throughout the game?
It's pretty much planned, but I think it starts out with the plan. I think especially with, you know, Kenyon, you know, in terms of the things that he does well and the plays that, you know, we have that we want to utilize what he does well. And, you know, we kind of look at the other 2 guys that they're going to share time. And, you know, when one guy's rolling good, we probably play him a little bit more than the other. But we really are doing it based on trying to keep the guys fresh through the game.
Seems like Blake's especially thrown it pretty well out of pistol and shotgun, and I wondered if that helps a first-year guy not being under center in terms of seeing the field or anything like that when it comes to the pass game.
We're probably under center more this year than we've ever been. I mean, we were probably in the shotgun a lot more, you know, prior to this. But I don't think it makes a difference with Blake at all because he gets away from the center because he's so athletic and he's very quick. He gets away and he gets depth in the drops, whether it's the boots or whatever. We move the pocket quite a bit with him, and he's athletic and he does that very well. So we've not sort of tried not to become just a drop back team and try to manufacture a lot of ways where we can use his athleticism in the passing game, and it's worked out well so far for us. Thank you.